All right, hello everyone, and welcome to D&D Night on DDOstream here on twitch.tv/DDOstream. Thank you so much for joining me. We are here every Sunday night from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern doing D&D tabletop on an otherwise Dungeons & Dragons Online, the MMO channel. Thank you for being here. I am Community Manager for Standing Stone Games, Cordovan, and with me are three victims, people who often choose to join me for some reason on these crazy one-offs, of which this holiday special is one. So if you're celebrating the holiday this weekend, it's Thanksgiving in the United States and other holidays elsewhere. Hope you're having a good one. Hope it's been a good one, and we're wrapping up the long holiday weekend, I think, with some crazy holiday-related tabletop. So we're going to get right into the story, and I'm going to give people a chance to introduce themselves here in a minute, but let's get into the story here first. This tale takes place around a dinner table, with a party recounting the story as it took place. In Eternia, the end of harvest season is marked with a feast. Typically, for most smaller communities, this involves the somewhat questionable tradition of chasing a giant turkey around town as a mob. And then killing it and eating it. You may recall last year, or 2 years ago rather, when a town's elderly matron was accidentally sucked into the soul of the great turkey, and it was a race to save her before the village of Foultown ate their elderly matron by accident. This year, things are much quieter. In fact, this year, you're all sitting around at an inn, following a terrible adventure involving burrowing skinworms, and are very much happy to be in a place with a bathhouse, food, fire, and a bed that isn't infested with sharp teeth drilling into your body while you sleep. While sitting around the dinner table at the inn, the conversation turns to the time your group faced another task of bringing home the bird, and while it wasn't a town full of bloodthirsty people, it was pretty ridiculous on its own. Remember the time we had to kill but not kill the great turkey a few years back, one of you says. The group nods in understanding. Let's hear it, the bartender calls from behind the bar. I guess you were speaking louder than you thought. The room gets quiet in preparation for this holiday tale. It starts with each of you standing up at the inn, introducing yourselves to the public. So let's start here with Carl.
Hello, public. I am Carl Bone Crusher, played by Comic Relief. He is a half-orc fighter.
All right. Up next is Sardessa.
Hey, this is Sardessa. I'm a mountain dwarf fighter.
All right. And Unami.
Unami is a cleric dedicated to healing of others, and was once part of the mercenary company that the person who was with these two win that when the finding of a turkey a couple of years ago happened. So he's familiar, but one step aside. And this is Gruby.
So the year of the holiday tale in question, you were all spending the harvest festival in the small, gated, and prosperous hamlet of Queenkin. It's named such due to it being the designated home and property of the Queen's sister. The Queen herself is eternal and immortal, for those who don't know, in Eternia. At least you think so, unless recent rumors are to be believed. But once per the selected's lifetime, the Queen announces a sister, a confidant and friend who provides conversation, assistance, and even guidance to the Queen herself. For a few decades now, the sister is a lady who came up from the Queen's Guard, proving themselves worthy during the tenure in service, who once did something special for the Queen and formed a lifelong, for the sister anyway, friendship. The sister is generally well regarded by the common people, but is someone well known for their quirky beliefs and behaviors. The most infamous quirk, and the one that precedes the following tale, is one of diet. While most during the Harvest Festival consume vast quantities of animal, vegetable, and mineral, the Queen's sister has a very strong belief that caused quite a bit of chaos. She is a mishapitarian. The core tenet of Mishapitarianism is that its followers believe they are called to consume only that which has passed on through the natural cycle of birth, life, and death, so they refuse to consume anything deliberately harvested for their benefit. Normally this is fine, albeit a potentially unpredictable diet to maintain, and the Queen's sister has clearly been able to live this whole time. However, while the sister eats confidently, in accordance with her belief, there is a fair amount of machinery behind the scenes required to make it happen. Certainly not something the average person could do, but she is, after all, the Queen's sister. So, every year, some poor adventuring souls, hunters, or farmers are tasked with providing the great turkey to the Queen's sister, but making sure the great turkey only dies accidentally. In this case, that means it is not aware it is being killed, and you can't deliberately kill it with a blow or magical attack. It has to die accidentally. Make it happen. And I'm going to put that wall of text in as well. But the main core here is you are tasked with killing, essentially, the great turkey for the Queen's sister. The Queen's sister being a Mishapitarian who does not believe in eating anything deliberately taken for their benefit. So they only eat things that die accidentally or otherwise go through their normal life cycle of birth, life, and death. It is your job at the end of this to provide the Queen's sister with a great turkey. They're all called the Great Turkey. The Great Turkey is the turkey that everyone eats during the Harvest Festival here. So, in preparation for this, I'm going to do a couple of things. One, you'll have a little bit of opportunity in light of this to do some prep work to kind of prepare for your journey wherever you want to go. And two, I want to explain a little bit how the story is going to go. Each one of you has what I'm going to call a story point, a story card, as it were, that you will play publicly once during this next 2 hours and 50 minutes. During that time, you will get to choose what happens in the story. For example, let's say that you're facing the great turkey and it's running away. You could play a story point and say, thankfully, the great turkey likes to hide in deserted, dry, arid areas, and there's a desert not too far away. You could do that. What you can't do is replace existing story. So, for example, you can't say, the great turkey, even though it's really great, is actually only 6 inches tall. You know, you couldn't do that because that fact has already existed to this point in the story, to whatever point we are in the story. That is. So each one of you will get a chance once in the game to say, I would like to declare my story point. And then you'll get an opportunity really to help guide, shape either what's offered to you or how it plays out in a way that will help you in this goal. Otherwise, you get to decide where you're going to hunt the great turkey. How are you going to find it? Remember, I'm ready to try to respond to you. I have got a list of somewhere in the range of 20 different maps and approximately 30 different random and type encounter things that could happen based on where you are, what you're doing, and where you choose to go. But I'm going to let it go kind of where we want it to, and I will guide it if necessary if we get to points where we're kind of stuck or otherwise just not moving forward in a way that we need the story to progress naturally that way. Otherwise, I'm going to kind of leave it up to you to figure out how in the world you are going to get a great turkey for the Queen's sister without actually killing it.
Turkeys can't fly, can they?
For the purposes of creating a monster for this thing, I am using a giant turkey. And I will be using a turkey that can run mostly, but does have some ability to fly a little bit. I have fly 20 feet. And the idea of that is it can kind of hop up in the air and flap its wings and sort of fall down. But it doesn't really have, compared to its mass, the ability to fly, no.
So if we just happen to be playing chase and it fell off a cliff, for instance.
Exactly. Of course, you're going to have to kill it. Yeah, I mean, it has to take enough damage to pass.
Right.
So we can't kill it with weapons, but can we damage it with weapons?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, well, I mean, nobody said you couldn't damage it. You just can't kill it with weapons. It has to die on its own.
So if we accidentally kill it, we have to bring it back and then
Perhaps,
send it.
you know, I mean, ultimately, so the way that this is addressed to you afterwards, because you get this news and you're just like, ah. And the person who delivers it to you from the Queen's Cart says, trust me, every year, I go through this. The important thing is that it cannot die by... You cannot kill it with a blow or magical attack. It cannot die except either through natural means. Some years people get lucky and they happen to find a big turkey that just happened to have a heart attack. Good luck on that. But that kind of thing. Ultimately, the way it happens is we have to go through no less than 3 zones of truth, at which point we are questioned and have to provide accurate answers to. As long as those answers will fit the criteria we told you earlier, we are fine. The core tenet, again, of Messapitarianism is that its followers believe they're called to consume only that which has passed on through the natural cycle of birth, life, and death, so they refuse to consume anything deliberately harvested for their benefit.
And they let you know it too.
Yep. So, is there... you now, earlier, just a few minutes before the campaign here, Unami had suggested a couple of wands, a wand of web, a rod of binding, and a staff of healing, all of which sound excellent. This party is level 7 here tonight in terms of your abilities and stats. I wanted to make sure pretty much all of you at least had a couple of attacks that you could do, or some kind of actions you could do to take care of this. So,
Right. I'm coming up with additional things that people besides me can use, because I didn't intend to do that.
I will also, if there's any questions in chat or anything, feel free to ask over in Twitch chat. I'll see what I can do to answer it. For those of you watching, I'm putting up some images as we kind of settle into the story here. And you're going to start the story inside of the tavern, at which point you're basically in a tavern telling the tale. You can go wherever you want from that point.
Okay.
Well, it all started in a tavern, not much different from this one.
Yeah, pretty much. So, first off, I guess, do you need any assistance to figure out where you might be able to find a great turkey? I mean, think giant turkeys, wherever giant turkeys might typically be located, right?
Like the woods?
Sure, the woods sounds good. I mean, they're often in the woods because they like to actually, you know, burrow under large trees that have like these, you know, kind of big trunks that put the vines in, and they actually like to burrow into those things. It's in some ways it's actually kind of funny because, you know, in Eternia they're also called you know, burrow vultures, except that not when you're serving it to the Queen's sister.
So if one was burrowed and we just happen to like light our campfire
Yeah.
next to the burrow and it just happened to go down there. I mean, I'm just throwing out ideas here.
Sure.
Yeah, when we say woods, though, I would think not like a really dense forest, but more of a more sparsely populated, big open field areas with some trees here and there, but not necessarily like, you know, a really dense forest.
Yeah, that sounds great. Sounds awesome. All right, I am going to put you on the in map here.
I put a few things in the chat for, like I said, everybody can do something with it. Brianna Cheese Forge.
Yeah, that person's going to be invisible.
That was
that was
Evans.
Brenda's character. I'm just going to put her in just in case we need an NPC or something like that. I'm trying to figure out how to make
Sure.
it invisible, though.
I don't see her on the combat tracker.
Okay, good. Well, that must be it then. Sweet. All right. Well, so also, everyone, I should just mention here quick as we're getting started, this is my first time doing a D&D night using Fantasy Grounds Unity. Fantasy Grounds Unity has been a couple of years in the works here, and it allows you it's a much more updated version of the Fantasy Grounds Classic that maybe you've seen here on D&D Night or used yourself. They just came out of their beta stage recently, and so this is their product going forward, and it's looking pretty good. They've been in kind of alpha, beta, and beyond for quite a while, so we're going to be switching over here in 2021. So there might be a few little quirks as I get to know the system, but I think you're going to find the presentation is very nice. So we want to thank Fantasy Grounds for being basically a sponsor of us. They provided some early keys to give us accounts to unlock, and we still support them as best we can. So if you want to learn more, go to fantasygrounds.com, and you can get a free account there. You don't even need to pay for Unity as long as someone in your account's got the top tier access. So that's what we got going here tonight, and we want to thank Fantasy Grounds for that. Okay.
So I've got a quick clarification question on the if it dies to a spell.
Yes.
What if it wasn't intentional?
Then that would be fine.
Okay, good.
Unintentional is generally always going to be okay.
Okay. Because there's, like spells that protect against things, and if it happened to walk into it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You put the wall of blades there. You didn't make it walk into it. So if you're looking for kind of a woodsy area to get started here, I will get a map going in just a smidge. Where in particular, like you just kind of want to sit up in a sort of a nice woodsy area? Is that about right?
Yeah, kind of,
Sure.
and ask the bartender if he knows a good hunting spot.
Well, yeah, actually, there's even giant turkeys need to drink water, and there's a stream just a really half day or so away that when people are hunting turkey, that's where they go.
Well, that sounds perfect. Where's the shot? Hey, how long do we have to do this?
It's fairly open-ended. I'm going to give you an opportunity to do what makes sense here. If it means
Okay.
we are like a week passes, that's fine. We're going to hand wave the time on it, depending on what the outcome of the story is. Because remember, you guys are the ones telling the tale. That's the idea here. It's not just me telling the tale, although I am clearly guiding you. You have that opportunity
we walk
to sort of tell
uphill
the tale.
both ways to the stream
Yeah,
through
pretty
the
much.
snow.
We get in the snow.
All right, I will be sharing a map with you in a second. Let me know when everything is looking okay there.
Well, I got it.
Jeez, yep. That's
So you are seeing basically a wooded area full of deer paths and hunting trails near a bridge that generally people out walking in the woods here use for various reasons. It's also perhaps a great place to set up a hunting trap for something like a giant,
turkey.
Yeah.
Or ground
And for
vault,
some
or was
reason,
it?
this map is actually way bigger than it actually is showing on it. I'm not quite sure why that is. Do you have any idea?
It does that.
Okay. Well, here you are, though. It's a pretty good place to kind of set up shop as you want to.
Alright.
Well, just take a quick look around, see if there's any obvious turkeys.
Well, I mean, so look at your skill sheets. Do any of you have, like, animal handling, anything like that?
As a matter of fact, yes, I do.
Well, great. Why don't you give me a roll? Oh, fantastic. You rolled a 19. So, I mean, regardless of whatever in our world here, in the world of the actual Earth that you're watching this on Twitch, when it comes to hunting the giant turkey in Eternia, there's something that just about everybody knows. And Carl Bonecrusher, as an expert on the subject, clearly understands the following. Do you have a thought?
Oh, is that my cue? Oh, okay. I was wondering. Let's see.
I mean, if it's if you want to catch a wild turkey drinking water, you need to wait until.
Right. Yeah. So, the turkeys here, they tend to take really long, deep drinks, and they kind of look around for a bit first. But after they actually stick their head in the water, there, they'll probably have their head down for a good 5-10 seconds before they come back up and take another look around.
And don't they, in between sips, go gobble, gobble, gobble?
That's
what
right.
I've heard.
And that's why, actually, when people are talking about gobbling drinks down, that's actually where that comes from.
So.
Yeah. All right. So, clearly finding a place perhaps to wait and hide over by the river makes some sense. Actually, that kind of bush off to your west is not terrible. You could pretty much hide in that bush and wait for perhaps a turkey to come around if you wanted to just be let's set up shop and wait for a couple of days if need be.
Is that where I just ran to?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll use my 0 survival skills. Actually, it's +1 to make a bit of a little turkey blind.
Nice. Do you give me a relevant roll?
Let's see. I can intimidate it really well.
Intimidate your turkey blind?
Huh.
All right, you rolled a 9, so you make a perfectly adequate wall. It's a nothing exceptional, but it's certainly going to get the job done in terms of keeping you blind from the water, from anything that's looking up at your direction, but giving you just a little bit of a couple of slits to look through and get a pretty good sense of view down by the river. Now, if it's really looking closely and you're moving like behind those slits, it could well notice, but So the first problem actually comes not long after you set up shop, which is that you're waiting for a turkey vulture, but what you get is actually something quite different.
Okay, before we get much further into the storyline, I just drew a little square on the map. That's where I'm setting up my hunting trap.
Okay.
Perfect. I actually, just to help you if it ends up being relevant, some of the things that I wrote down from the book that are relevant is what would happen if there was a swarm of rats. What if you tried to get bit by a poisonous snake? What if you set up a simple or spiked pit trap, rolling sphere trap, dart trap, hidden pit trap, etc., etc.? So in your case, that's a hidden pit trap?
Well, no, it's a hunting trap. So let me pull up the description here.
Collapsing roof, broken bottles, beer barrel. I tried to find some things that we could maybe pull from.
Snare.
Falling net. Yeah, falling net as a general one for probably most snares.
Yeah, the way it's written in the guide as far as the actual description is sawtooth steel ring trap that snapshots when the creature steps on it, and pressure plate. It's affixed to a heavy chain and an immovable object such as a tree or a spike in the ground. Creature steps into it, succeeds on a DC 13 dex save, or takes 1d4 piercing damage and stops moving. Anytime it wants to break free, well, if it doesn't make it, then it's limited to a 3-foot long chain that's attached to. Can use an action to recheck a strength check every round. On each failed check, it deals an additional 1 point of damage. So it's just it's like a steel jaw trap, and but it's not going. It shouldn't kill the turkey outright, unless it only has 1d4 hit points left.
No, you feel pretty solid that at least a giant turkey on its natural state would have more than 4 hit points. So that's a pretty solid plan there. If you can get it in it. Now they can jump. They're pretty good at jumping and moving around and dodging. But hey, if it gets in there, that's a pretty good plan.
Now, just to clarify to everyone, we are clear we're out here hunting for some chickens, right? If we get a turkey, that's neither here nor there. I'm looking for some chickens.
I thought I said. Did I say? I didn't say chicken, did I? No, I called it the Great Turkey.
No,
She's trying to say that since we're hunting chickens, if we accidentally catch and kill a turkey, then it accidentally died.
Right.
Okay. Well, so on areas where you're trying to deliberately force yourself to believe something which is not true, I am going to make you roll a wisdom save, and you have to fail the wisdom save.
I don't want it double rolled.
Because you have advantage of wisdom saves?
Yeah, you have advantage for some reason.
Either way, you can't. It's not going to work. Not past the zone of truth. Nope.
Well, for the others...
Yeah, not for you anyway.
Chickens. Hey, I rolled a 20.
Yeah, there's a 19 first and then a 20. I think it's pretty solid that you're not going to... You don't believe
No,
yourself
so
enough.
I bellow, "We are hunting chickens," in my intimidate voice.
Yeah,
and I rolled a 20 on it.
Yeah, but you all know better. It's not going to work. Not that one. Sorry. Here's what unfortunately does happen right after you finally get settled, because you're going to go kind of quiet for a while and just listen. Correct? You hear this little schwack, 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 schwack. Some weird kind of schwacking sounds, and then this mumbling from a language you don't quite understand, but it sounds. It sounds guttural. It sounds almost like 3 smaller creatures bickering. And you see 3 tiny little, I don't know what they are exactly. They kind of look like some sort of almost fae-style creatures. A little bit like dwarves if they were having a bad run on their luck. And they're walking across the bridge, swinging sickles around, and talking about how they're all hungry. And at least today, they're going to get a turkey. What do you wish to do?
Be very, very quiet so they can kill the turkey.
Okay, I need all of you to make a stealth check.
Oh, well. Let's see.
Unfortunately, at the very least, we've got
Wow, what a
2
spread.
ones here. The problem
Even
is
with
this happens.
disadvantage, I roll a 15. Wow.
Yeah, well, a 15 is almost enough, right? That could be worse. Could be worse. But unfortunately, it was just too soon after you set up the blind there, and you were just getting settled in when that thwacking happened, and somebody must have made a rustle, because the next thing you know, they're looking over at you with red, glowy little eyes and saying, maybe this will be our dinner instead. Roll for initiative.
So I do know there is a way for the GM to pop up a roll for initiative pop-up, and everybody just clicks on it. But that's fine.
I'm
Just
sure
roll
I could
manually.
maybe do that, huh? Oh yeah, initiative, huh?
Ruby could explain it more, of course, because he's used it.
One says roll PC initiatives, one says roll NPC. I assume it's roll PC, huh?
It's a come on, brain extension.
Oh, an extension. Okay. Okay, well, I don't have that then.
Yeah, it's a free extension, but
regardless.
we'll get you that.
Wait a second, why am I not seeing your initiative
Mostly
on the
because,
combat tracker?
free.
For some reason, I'm not seeing
And there
your
are
initiative
lots of
on-
free extensions for Fantasy Grounds.
Oh, nice, nice. For some reason, I'm not seeing the initiative as showing up on the combat tracker, though. Maybe that's why. Huh?
That is weird.
Yeah, they're listed in the on the
Um,
window, but not on the tracker.
sure, there's an option.
Yeah, I can just roll all initiatives. I'll just do that. All right. So, Carl, you go first. Thankfully, you were the one that was the most stealthed and the most prepared, therefore, for this ready to happen.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming we overheard them saying perhaps. Did we understand that they said perhaps this would be our meal today? Or
Yeah, they said it in common. Like, they wanted you to hear it.
okay. Well, in that case, I'm gonna cast a firebolt at one of them, and I'm gonna say, assuming it hits.
That is a hit. You rolled a 9, got a modified up to 15 for 13 points of damage. That was a serious wound.
I'll end my turn.
I think it was like, what is this? I think they were maybe not prepared for something that was going to fight back so much. However, I don't know what you know about red caps, but they move up to its speed to a creature, and they move pretty fast. Let me see, what is their speed here? 25 feet. So red cap 2 is going to go 5, 10, 15. Go up to you and kick you in the shins.
I'm not sure if I just went deaf or what, but I'm not hearing anything.
Oh, sorry, I didn't have push to talk on. Sorry about that. I was just going to say that I was telling the Twitch chat that the red cap, I don't know if you know much about red caps, but they have a tendency to move very quickly and do what this one is about to do, which is kick you with its iron boots in your shin. You need to succeed on a DC 14 Dex saving throw, which I will put on you, or take 3d10 plus 4 bludgeoning damage and be knocked prone.
Oh yeah, red caps. Very short, very big jerks.
Thankfully, you again were fairly prepared, and you are Carl Bone Crusher after all. So despite taking a hit to the shins, you don't actually take any damage. It follows up with 3
Well, I actually
sickly attacks.
failed to save.
Oh, you failed to save. Oh, sorry. I thought it was rolling on its success. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. So you do take
Okay.
that damage. You take 15 points of damage as it cracks into one of your shins. You are knocked prone, which in your case is just going to be knocked really to your hands and knees from the pain of that assault. It follows up with 3 sickle attacks. One is a hit. For 10 points of damage. The second is a miss. And the third is a hit. For 7 points. So you were pretty heavily damaged by this thing just rushing at you, kicking and slashing you repeatedly, and causing quite a bit of damage. This is one nasty little badger type thing. Unami, it's your turn. You just saw that happen.
Yep. It reminded me, Carl is a Eldritch Knight?
Correct. Half orc, Eldritch Knight. Yep.
That's my weird memory kicking in. All right. I'm going to move over here to cast a Death Ward onto Sardessa. After seeing that particular happen. See if I put that on effect. No, because I put it on the wrong thing. And then I will bring into be a spiritual weapon as a bonus action. So if you could just put me a token.
Oh, of a spiritual weapon. Yeah. Okay. Do I need to actually make an item, or can I just pull the token?
Just a token. So like there.
You actually need a token. You can just use a little square there.
I've got it somewhere. Somewhere I've got a bunch of letters, and I'm trying to find it now. Here we go. We'll just use the 0 here. That'll work.
Okay. There. He gets thwacked.
Ouch. And it took 9 points of damage. Sardessa, your turn.
Run up. And let's see. I get a miss. My second attack misses even more.
Oh no, an automatic
And
1.
I can bonus action attack. So let's try this a third time. Hey!
Natural 20. All right. So the first,
did it.
So the first strike hits, and the second strike basically almost fumbled, but then you followed through with an amazing strike and did how much damage total? Quite a bit here.
17.
And that's on top of the 28 earlier. Right? I see a 17 and a 28 here.
Oh, I miss, and then there was a.
Yeah, the last one was
Yeah,
a
no,
28 plus 8.
Oh,
The 28 was
the
an
hit to
attack.
hit. Okay, yeah. Sorry. Okay, I see it there. Yep. So 17 points of damage. There you go. Cool. All right. Well, it is pretty hurt. You can tell that because it is not having fun. Redcap 3 hops around and rushes to the attack. And just manages to dodge the spring trap there. And does attack first with the sickle there, Sardessa. First one is a miss, swings wide. The second one is a miss. And the third one is a hit with a 15, rolled up to 21. For 9 points of damage. And then follows up with a kick. Thankfully, you make the save.
Oof.
Redcap 1 runs around and runs into the pit. What happens?
Okay. Gotta bring that up again. Dex save 13 or more.
All right, you want to roll on it, or should I have it roll?
You go ahead and have it roll, because I don't actually have that set up
Okay,
anywhere
sure.
on my...
It rolls a 14.
Okay.
And do you know what it needed?
So it It needed a 13, so it
Just managed to miss it.
broke free of the trap.
All right, so it sprung the trap, jumped out of the way, and gets over to Sardessa here to attack. First one is a miss. The second is a hit with a modified 20. And for 12 points of damage. And the third roll is a miss with a modified 8. It follows up. You get it. With a kick. And unfortunately, it kicked you not... It kind of did like a roundhouse, so it didn't. It actually hit you in your behind.
Rude.
There's a crack, you think. Ouch. 14 points of damage, and you are knocked prone.
I need that butt bone for sitting.
And I will actually put that on you too, Carl. Now, it is the end of the turn. Red Cap 3 starts this round.
Uh-oh.
Red Cap 3 is not wounded.
Initiative for us.
Yeah, so it's going to start with a kick to your head. And succeeds.
Oh.
No. She succeeds on the save.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Shoot. Yeah, sorry. I have to keep remembering that. So you remove 16 points. You're at 35. All right. And then follows up with the Wicked Sickle. Thanks for pointing that out. Sorry.
I'm not the only one that finds that confusing.
Yeah, it is. Modified 20 for a hit. For 8 points of damage. Modified 25. For 10 points. And modified 26, critical hit.
No.
For 9 points of damage. Thankfully, out of the woods comes running up a friend. One Benina Cheeseforge. You remember her, right? You know,
Sure.
Absolutely, my old friend Benina. Help!
yeah. So Benina actually goes next and is going to use a Warhammer attack on Red Cap 3. And unfortunately misses. And that is also going to, let's see, as a bonus action is going to do Healing Word. On you, Sardessa. For 6.
Thank you.
Red Cap 1 sees you, Unami, and sees that Sardessa is clearly being handled fine, and is going to make a run at you, ignoring you, Sardessa. Do you get an attack of opportunity even if you're prone?
Yup.
Then go for it.
Okay, which one?
That would be 1.
1. Okay.
How does that work? Is it like at a disadvantage, or is it just a straight up, or what?
It's a disadvantage because you're prone,
Yeah.
but
I'm
you get
rolling.
it.
Oh well.
Yeah, it was a good try. Anyway, it runs up to you, Unami, and guess what it starts to do? I'd say it would kick
try
you
to
in
kick
your
me in the
shin. Unfortunately,
It does, apparently.
it went a little too high.
No.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No. So it really hit me somewhere worse than my shin then.
Yeah, because you failed the save.
Right.
Right? And so that you do take the damage.
Yep. Yep.
So 11 points of really painful bludgeoning damage. And it follows up with 3 attacks, thankfully not directed at the same area.
My giblets.
A miss. A hit, which is a modified 23 for 9 points of damage. And then another miss. So it's like a flurry of sickle attacks when they're following up with their nasty little kicks. Redcap 2 looks at you, Carl, and is going to use 3 sickle attacks. Hit. For 8. Where are you at? Okay, you're okay. Second.
Ooh, maybe not for long.
Hit. For 7. And hit. For 10. A lot of severe damage there. Carl, it is your turn. He does not follow through with the kick.
I stand up.
All right.
So if you would be so kind as to remove that prone from me,
Done.
thank you very much. And I'm going to take my warhammer and I'm going to smack this guy.
Unfortunately, a miss.
I'm going to try to smack him again.
And that's a hit. Modified 24 for 9 points of damage to Redcap 2, which is... He is looking very, very wounded.
Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and use my action surge then, and I'm going to attack again.
All right, a direct hit. 25 modified. And it is down. Ah! The warhammer just crunch, and it drops.
And for my second attack on the action surge, I'm going to attack Redcap number 1.
All right, that is a modified 12. Unfortunately, that is a miss. Anything else?
Yeah, as a bonus action, I'm going to do a second wind.
Oh, nice. And that gets you hit points back. 11 hit points back,
Not a
as a matter
lot,
of
but
fact.
yeah. And that will be my turn.
All right, Sardessa.
All right. See, red cap.
You are prone.
Stand up.
Oh, stand up.
All right. Nice. Direct hit. Just, you knew right where to strike there. 27 modified.
Ooh.
For 13 points of damage to Redcap 3. This was its first hit.
All right. Second attack. Oh.
Unfortunately, a miss.
So let's see. Now might be time for my second wind as well. Let me see. Yeah, so that's my bonus action. So that's 1d10.
Plus your level.
Okay.
All right, you rolled 12 points of healing there. Not bad.
Okay.
Is
So
that
that's
everything
me.
done with you? Okay, so Unami, your turn. You are prone as well.
And I will stand up.
Done.
And then I'm going to heal some people.
Nice. 31 points of healing all around. Very, very nice.
And then my, I'm going to direct this here and have it thwack.
Natural 1, unfortunately.
Well, this is just a bonus action.
True. All right. So first up one is Red Cap 1, who is the one right in front of you, Unami. He is not happy about being attacked from both sides and is a little freaked out about it. He is going to start by turning around and attacking you, Carl, with his sickle attacks. First one is a miss with a modified 15. Natural 20.
Oof.
For 13 points of damage from a wicked sickle attack. And then the third is also a miss. He then turns around, his head around. You see the heel of his boot come right towards your face, Unami. And you failed the save.
That's a high kicking
21
Red
points
cap.
of damage. Well, you were prone. Oh, you were standing up. All right, sorry. So he actually does just like hit you in the legs then again. And makes
He
you
did
drop.
21 damage. Apparently, he did jump up in the air and drive his boot into my face.
21 points of damage. That's what these red caps do. They are known for crushing. They kick things, and it hurts. Carl,
Well.
you're hurt. It's your turn.
All right, well, let's see if we can't smack the stuffing out of Red Cap 1.
First roll is a modified 12 and a miss. Unfortunately, it's the same with the second.
I think that'll be my turn.
Okay. Then it looks like it is your turn, Unami.
Okay. This one comes from me. Bonus action. Feeling.
Nice. 16 points for everybody. Nice. 16 points for everyone.
And then for my regular action,
Stand up, stand up.
I will stand up. Thank you. I will try and to toll the dead on recap number 1. So let's see how he does. He failed
Failed
his
the
save.
save.
He's taking damage, so
Dang. Only a mere 2 points, unfortunately.
Man.
That's
between
are there
2
any
and
side
24.
effects? Are there any like kind of secondary effects?
Nope.
Okay.
Because it does so much damage potentially.
All right, Sardessa, your turn. You're actually
Okay.
not hurt right now,
Hooray.
and the one in front of you is taking some damage. And hits. You hit with a 15 modified. For 10 points of heavy damage, crash with the battle axe.
Second swing.
Also a hit
Ooh,
with a
awesome.
17. For 7 points of damage.
And then my bonus action hit.
Also a hit with a modified
Also
20.
hits.
For 6 points of damage. So this thing has taken a lot of damage and is looking pretty hurt. It is, however, still alive. Here's the thing. Unfortunately, it doesn't yet know that Benina is behind it, and it didn't see the other one move around the trap. It is severely wounded and wants to run away, so it's going to back up into the trap. So what needs to happen?
Dex save of 13 or more.
And it gets an opportunity attack against it by Sardessa.
Yep, and so it's made its saving throw. So it's like, rah! Thankfully, I guess these things know how to hop. So it hops back again, thus provoking an attack against.
Do I get an
with you.
attack of opportunity or did it disengage?
Nope, you get an attack.
Okay. Then I will do so.
It's doing a full sprint.
Hey.
You hit. Ah,
Haha.
it tries to back up. You slash, And even though it makes it safe going through, its guts spill into the pit and it falls in soon afterwards.
Well, that's been baited.
Well, there you go.
I guess nobody's so hurt that they need anything right now. So, Benina is going to cast Sacred Flame at the red cap. And missed, and is going to...
Nope.
Oh, it failed
That's
its
a save
save,
failure.
sorry. I keep on doing that. For 4 points of damage. And then it is going to... Yeah, yeah, that's it. Sardessa, you're up again.
All right. Guess I'll step around this floaty sword thing and swing and a miss. Swing again.
Yeah.
Hey, that one
Hey,
hits.
hit with a modified 26. For 8 points of damage.
And my bonus action is another swing,
Another
which
hit.
also hits.
Another 8 points of damage. It is severely wounded. Unami.
All right. Put your weapon.
All right, that is a hit with 15.
Which luckily at least gets to add my stuff.
Yeah, that is 7
And-
points of damage.
That's a bonus action. And then, let's see. Try to toll it again.
It made it save, unfortunately. It is not feeling very well, but it sees that it's surrounded and can't escape because of the river. It screams at you, "Our holiday is better!" And it does a triple attack against you. It hits for 8 points of damage. It hits for 10 points of damage. And it hits for 6 points of damage. And then it follows up saying, "This is what you get for trying to take our turkey." And you failed your save. For 17 points of damage.
Jeez.
Carl, it's your turn. It's almost dead.
All right. I'm gonna throw down a cantrip called Sword Burst.
All right.
That
It
makes it
succeeded
save.
its save, unfortunately.
And then, since I am an Eldritch Knight, I'm going to follow up with a bonus action of hitting it with my Warhammer.
And that is a hit. And that is enough to take it down.
And as I crush his bones, I say, "I told you, not today!"
Nice. The Harvest Festival is saved. You're still on the hunt for a great turkey. You're right that there are definitely blood and guts at the bottom of that trap. You're not kidding about it being baited.
Nope.
I am going to...
Meanwhile, I'm going to tend these wounds.
Do you want to keep Benina around? If so, I'm going to have one of you grab the character. And you can all control her.
Sure. You know, I think it would be good to have her.
All right. I don't know if you can grab more than one character at a time. Can you? You should be able to, right?
Yes.
Who wants to play?
Unami, you know most about the numbers. I'm going to have you do the actual throwing things on things. And then you can all basically decide what Benina's going to do.
Okay, I can just
Yeah.
computer.
You
Yeah, I can grab her.
you can just take control of her.
All right, so
Mental domination.
despite, the Red Caps attempting to butt in on your holiday, they failed. You do have your blind up, and are you still
That's funny.
any plans of changes of plans or anything?
Well, I think we need at
No.
least a short rest.
Well, I was gonna say, we're kind of dug in here. I think we can just do a short rest while we're waiting, assuming we can get a short rest in while we wait.
Yep, you get a short rest in. If anyone wants to spend their spendy spends, you can. I will point out, remember, we have about 2 hours
Okay.
left, just a little under, and you do have your story points to play as well if you want to.
In that case, I'll handle some micromanagement of healing.
All right, you don't have to worry too much about it. If you want, if it's one of those things where everyone's going to be up at the top, we'll just go for it. Otherwise, as it gets toward darkness, and if I do this right, I believe I can even set time of day.
That's cool. I'm over here watching Groovy set different dice colors. He's got blue for Unami and green for Vanina's rolls.
When I was opening them, I bet I need to unlock it. That's what. Okay. If you unlock the map, there's actually a time of day filter on it, which is kind of neat. So you can set the amount of time of day filter on it,
Nice.
and you can set what time of day it is.
And weather, which I'm looking forward to using next week. When there's blizzards, it will be blizzarding.
Oh, great.
All right, we're going to make it pretty dark here, because in the middle of the night, you hear the unmistakable sound of the great turkey.
If you don't mind, when we go start to camp and prepare for the night, I'll be setting up a guardian,
Okay.
which protects the area and attack hostile things that come within it.
Okay.
Second. Oh, well, I guess Benina will, since I've used mine and we're the exact same build, so conveniently. That'd be Guardian of Faith. Lasts for 8 hours, and it will, within anything that comes within 10 feet of it, takes radiant damage if it fails to save. A dex save.
Okay. And we're just going to use that O for it?
Sure.
All right, so just
right
towards
there.
the edge of your vision, you see, around towards the middle of the night, the unmistakable sounds of the great turkey approaching the water. What are you going to do?
Be very, very quiet.
All right, give me all a stealth check.
Yeah.
None of you did well. None of you did well. The highest rolled was a 7. So, you would have thought that, being quiet, but you suddenly decided to be quiet. And that motion of being quiet actually sounded a lot like clanking armor, which the great turkey quickly pops its head up from the water, which it hadn't even started to take a drink yet, and starts running down the path. Roll for initiative. All right. Sardessa, you're first.
Okay, which way is it running?
Well, you don't know exactly because it just started bolting, but it appears to be bolting eastish.
Okay, I'm gonna run up this way. Going gobble gobble gobble.
You mean like trying, oh, not actually making a skill check or anything, just doing that, huh?
Just gobbling.
All right. So, Benina Cheeseforge is the party person. This is a cleric, level 7. I joined for some extra healing because I thought maybe you needed it. This would have been Even Note's character, except that she's feeling under the weather, so I had to duck out tonight.
Sure. And it's onto us and it's trying to get out, right?
Yes.
Like it's been
well,
alerted.
it certainly at least heard the noise, and possibly now
Okay.
saw Sardessa bolt across its path.
All
Yeah,
right.
I was just trying to keep it from running off that way. Like maybe it'll go down towards the bridge.
Okay. Since this is kind of a little more my committee, since I'm running Brianna, do we want to command it to come to us?
Sure. I mean, you can. What the command is one word, right? So it would be what?
Yeah.
Come.
Yeah.
Heal. No, wait. Could misinterpret that. Yeah, come or sleep, or those are always good ones. Or
Is
stop
it actually
or
in
whatever.
the water currently, or is it on
No,
the
it's actually. Let me
shore?
move it aside a second. You can see. There was a
You know,
little,
it's-
just a slight little outcropping where it's perched, ready to take a drink. All right. On that saving throw for command, it made its saving throw.
So it doesn't do it. And I'm pretty sure that's an action. Yes. It's a 6-second word.
Yeah, over here. No, I mean, come over here. Come.
Yep. Guess it could be 3 seconds. 3 seconds of running, but anyway.
All right, Carl, your turn.
Okay. I'm just looking at a couple of things here. Okay. Let's see. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35-ish. Well, I think I will go ahead and try to run up to it. I think I can get there.
Don't trip and fall on it.
Yeah. Well, oh, wait. Let me take a look at this real quick again. Okay. And then I'm going to cast Earth Tremor. So, Earth Tremor in a 10-foot radius centered on myself because the ground within range to tremble. Each creature other than you in that area must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 1d6 bludgeoning damage and is knocked prone. And then if the ground in that area is loose earth or stone, it becomes difficult terrain until cleared. Which just means it takes double to move through it. So let me throw down my casting save on that. Oh, you did that for me. Okay, cool. Okay, so that's my action. I don't have a bonus action to follow up on, so that'll be my turn.
Half of its movement.
Yeah, half of its movement. And then, however, to move through one square, like I say, it's a 10-foot radius, so it costs double movement to get through it. So 1 square would equal 2 squares, or 5 feet would equal 10 feet for every movement. Sure, why not?
So we have an attack of opportunity happening. I think I might have been muted there.
Yeah, no, I'm going to take an attack of opportunity, and I'm actually going to attempt to, was it non-lethal, whatever they call it, to subdue
Okay.
my Warhammer.
That is a modified 19. And did 8 points of damage.
Which is basically it's a regular attack, but instead of if it drops below 0, it actually just drops at 0.
It is still flailing into the water. So if you're keeping track, you've done 10 points so far. Unami, your turn.
I feel bad for this poor turkey.
Okay.
Is that 10 foot? Oh, that's 20 foot. That's a different effect.
Yeah, it's the effect is gone, but the difficult terrain is still there. So
okay. Okay.
I'll go ahead and put a 10-foot circle around me.
Yeah, I was just prepping.
Sure. Okay, I didn't realize that. It is your turn. What would you like to prep?
I am casting Calm Emotions on the turkey, the great turkey.
Oh, nice. Centered on its point.
Well, no, off a little because I'm trying to make sure I don't get Carl. Because I don't want to calm his emotions. I want to calm the turkey, and anything else that happens to get can be calmed too. That's fine.
So it is flowing down the river, and you can tell the river's flowing towards the bridge here. So if you want, I don't know exactly where you'd want to place it, but you can probably do that, right?
Okay, and I'll probably want to move to grab said turkey before something happens to it. So let's see if that works.
I'll let you put it on it. All right. It succeeds. It's saving throw. That means it's still grazed, correct?
Yeah, it's still upset about things.
Well, to be fair, it did just get smacked with a hammer and shucked into a river, and the earth around it shook, and all it wanted to do was get a drink of water, and that's after hearing clanking of clearly hunters after it.
Oh, sure. I'm just saying. I was trying to make that all disappear, make it not seem so bad.
Now, that's a persistent effect, correct? For concentration, is that correct?
Let's see. That is, it's a concentration check. Or a concentration thing, so I have to put that on myself. But it'll probably be going away since it will miss it unless it happens to be in there when its turn comes around.
All right, well, we are at the start of a turn.
Can drink all the water it wants.
And Benina is up first. You can heal the great turkey. It's going to want to stay alive, so it's going to be considered friendly for the purposes of healing.
Okay. You got anything like, that makes it heavier so maybe it can drown itself? That would be an accident.
That's mildly outside of what I have available. Okay, well, let's try this again. command.
It failed its save.
Dive.
Nice. All right, and so it basically, unless it would cause its death. Well, wait a second. What is command won't allow it to take an action that would kill it, right?
Right.
But
It's a turkey in the water. They tend to want to float.
we did already say it can keep its head underwater for periods of time. So it thinks maybe diving is a good idea. How about I give it a... Well, it failed its save, so it's doing the command. What happens? What should we say happens? It certainly isn't going to die immediately, right? As 6 seconds isn't going to drown a giant turkey.
Well, assuming it's smart enough to actually breathe, but the act of diving in and of itself won't kill it. But yeah, maybe there's a small chance that it is freaked out enough that it inhales water.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I don't know. It's normally it's an athletics check.
Yeah,
for that sort of thing.
Yeah. All right, so that is it is Benina's turn, right?
Right.
And it cast the command, and it dove into the water. Is Benina going to do anything else?
I'll have her move closer.
All right. Is that the end of the turn then?
Yeah, let me pass her turn.
All right, so the great turkey is absolutely all aflutter. It doesn't know what to do. It's got a command to dive down. It dives down, and towards the end of its turn, it's like, what? No, this is a terrible idea. So it tries to jump up to the surface and is flailing around while it's being brought downriver. Thankfully, the river is not super rushing right now. Unami, your turn.
And let me hit it with its calm emotion since it's still within it.
It failed its save.
Okay, so now it's a calm turkey that's still kind of discombobulated, but it's no longer scared. To which point, Nami's going to come down and scoop up this turkey. Pet it on its head.
All right, let's do the equivalent of a grapple. Let's do like a strength check. A contested strength check.
Okay. That'd be
21 on the part of the great turkey.
Well, that's a bummer. Come on, dice.
Oh, nice! And with an athletics roll modified, you've got a 25. You have got, it's taking both your hands, and you're going to have to hang on to it, which will not be easy. But you currently have the great turkey in your arms.
And it shouldn't be struggling, because it's all calm.
It was calm until you picked it up. But you're right, it's not, certainly did calm down.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens when it's
because of calm emotions is why it's calm. But
that's just calm existing emotions, right?
Do y'all think the sister would get mad if we just brought this live turkey and was like, well, we have to wait for dinner?
I mean, you think someone would have thought of that beforehand, before now. So I'm going to guess that you were going to guess that doesn't work.
I was kind of thinking what you could do is big, try to figure out how far this thing can jump. Actually, dig a big old pit around it, set it in the middle, and see if it doesn't jump into this big old pit with enough stuff to maybe kill it.
Okay, so that's pretty much me, and then later I'll see if I can move with it.
All right, Carl, what do you want to do?
Well, let's see. Are we basically out of combat, or are we still in combat?
You're still in combat.
Okay. All right. Let's see. So now he's got a hold of the turkey. I'm going to at least move down this way, so... about there.
That's technically in the water.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's the shadow of the water. You need to move east about 10 feet, yeah.
Okay. Is that still shallow or?
Yeah, we'll call that the edge. That's fine.
Okay. All right. And I want to just kind of prep something if the turkey actually manages to get out of Inami's grasp to maybe help re-grab it. But that'll be my turn for now.
Well, you can metagame here just enough to know that you're second to last on the combat tracker. So if you're going to take an action this turn, you're going to have to do it pretty soon here.
No, I realize that. No, it's fine. I'm done.
Okay. Sardessa.
Let's see, I'm just 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And hey, you need a rope?
I mean, someone should take this turkey.
Are you going to try to take an action or just move?
I don't really, I mean, aside from killing the turkey,
Well,
don't
you could try to bind it.
Yeah, I can
Lasso
try
it
to
or
lasso it. Yeah.
Or you can run down here.
Okay. I
and
will
hand
do
it
that.
off.
Actually, I don't know if you can because you were all the way up towards the top. You could run there,
Yeah.
but then you wouldn't be able to take an action, right?
I will, yeah.
Just whatever you would determine would be a normal free action. One interaction with an object.
Yeah,
but not
lassoing
like an attack action or
the
something.
great turkey is not a free action.
Probably
Yeah.
would not. Yeah.
All right. Well, then I'm pretty much done.
All right. The great turkey, you're right that it's calmed down. It's no longer afraid of drowning. However, it will not act against its best interest, and being grabbed by humans is certainly not in its best interest. It follows through. Excuse me. It follows through with 2 attacks, 1 beak and 1 talons. It misses with its beak, trying to twist around. And it misses with its talon attack. It's do a contested strength check at the end of its turn to try to break free. It rolls an 8. And you rolled a 14. So it is still in your grasp. Carl.
All right. So I want to see if I can't maybe bind his feet with a rope. Can I maybe try to do that? I mean, I'm assuming some sort of skill roll.
Yep. Whatever you think an appropriate skill roll would probably be, I'm going to say animal handling would probably make sense for you.
That works for me.
All right. With your animal handling ability, you quick get that great turkey roped up. It cannot escape your grasp. Are you going to try to bind both its body and its feet?
Well, it's feet together so it can't flail, and then I don't know if we can try to. I mean, I think that would be one successful roll. I suppose we can try to bind the feet then to the rest of the body. We can try that.
Well, I'm saying, do you want it to still be able to run but not really attack, or do you want it to be able to attack but not be able to run?
Not run.
All right, so its feet are bound.
So having his
currently...
feet, so having his feet bound, it still has its beak that it could attack with.
Yeah, let's put it. You presumably brought it over from the water onto the bridge, perhaps.
Sure.
Otherwise, if you want to keep hanging it over the water, you can.
No, we say we brought it onto the bridge. That's fine.
Okay, so its feet are bound currently. Is there anything else you want to do?
Okay, cool.
Otherwise,
no, that'll be my turn.
Otherwise, we can drop combat here unless someone wants to take something that's combat specific in terms of an action. Otherwise, we can just go, you've got the bound great turkey at your feet. If you're going to try to pick it up, we're going to go back into combat because it's going to keep trying to attack you. But it cannot currently move around.
Okay. I think Brianna would just be moving down and Benina, would be moving down to just be, closer to what's going on. But I can't think of anything right now with what she can do.
Got a sack to throw over his head?
I I definitely gave several of the characters I created sacks. So if you don't have one, you basically can get one. Clearly, you were going to want to have something to maybe hold the Great Turkey in.
She has some rope.
All right. So if we're going to try to do another binding, then we're going to have to do another skill check. Otherwise, you will face an attack.
Let's see.
Yeah. See if we can put it in a sack.
Yeah. Who's got that sack?
Anybody? Otherwise, we'll give it to
Benina.
Benina.
See, I've got
Yep.
a pouch.
Benina has the sack.
Oh, sure. Okay. Then, yeah, she'll come down and we can put a sack over its head.
All right. So
Flip it on its back.
Yep. So make a skill check for
Make it go to
Benina.
sleep. What are we going to call that?
Probably animal handling.
Okay. Good.
And with a
Ooh.
20, there you go. You were prepared for this. It has been properly sacked and tied so it cannot move. All right, so we're at 8:30 here, which is perfect timing in terms of the story. We're going to take a 5-minute break, give everyone a chance to get some fresh water, use the bathroom if they want, walk around, stretch their legs, and we'll be back in 5 minutes with the
Brainstorm.
last of our holiday special here on D&D Night on DDOstream. We're going until probably a little bit before 10 o'clock here tonight, and so we'll see you back in 5 minutes.
All right.
Community Manager Cordovan. And I will be with you here for the next hour, a little, not quite an hour and a half, with my group with me, Unami and Sardessa and Carl, who are hunting the great turkey. The great turkey itself is being given to the Queen's sister, who is a dignitary, who has a very peculiar dietary habit. That being, this Queen's sister is a mishabitarian, meaning that they only eat things that have lived through their natural cycle of birth, life, and death, and never, ever eat anything that was killed for their benefit. Which is a little weird, then, why the Queen's sister takes part in the Great Turkey event every year, just to show that mishabitarianism does indeed function in this regard, with the help, of course, being that there's a lot of machinery behind the scenes that allow the Queen's sister to be able to pull this off every year. That machinery is in part you, this year, tasked with trying to kill the Great Turkey without, by it maybe accidentally dying. And that is where we find ourselves an hour and a half into this one-shot campaign right here on D&D Night on DDOstream. We're just getting started trying to figure out, now that you've got the Great Turkey tied up, can't move, its legs are bound, in a sack, what are you going to do next?
What time of night is it? Is it time for a long rest?
Yeah, it was dark when this happened. So remember, it was towards midnight. And this was a pretty quick combat, really.
So if we kind of set up camp and tie this turkey up in a branch or something, and
Maybe over a pit trap.
I would say definitely put it in a deep pit.
we'll just, go to sleep. And
So that pit is not spiked, correct? No, it was spiked. No, it just took bludgeon damage.
Well, I want to go ahead and retrieve my actual trap, but we can dig a deep pit from which to secure one end of the rope and lower the turkey into it, so the turkey is still tied to the rope, but is in the deep pit.
Okay, that makes sense. I would point out that trying to... you said you were going to get the trap back, right? It is currently covered in guts. Redcap guts.
It's washable.
Okay. Well, you do that then. You have quite the disgusting display on your hands, but you do retrieve the trap, and you do manage to tie pretty easily the rope to the bag. And I'm going to have... Who wants to tie the rope to the bag, and I want that person to give me a skill check.
It doesn't actually have the survival skill.
And I should... Do I have the tower up? I believe I have the tower up. Give me a tower roll.
Yep.
I have a little tiny bit of survival.
Okay.
I've got a survival check, too.
Okay. Well, let's see. Unumi's got a 5 in it. Whoever is best should be helped by whoever's second best at it.
Well, it doesn't matter who's second best, because you just get advantage on the roll, right? So
Right.
I'll help you.
Okay. In that case, I will try and make sure this works out. In the tower. Thank you.
Okay. All right. It certainly was not an inadequate job. I mean, you can tell just based on your skill set that it looks pretty good.
I'm aware of things. All right. So I guess we need to make our pit then.
Yeah, where are you going to put that pit?
Might I suggest somewhat maybe close to the river, but not actually in the river?
Well, our camp is right next to the river where the guardian is.
Yeah, I'm just saying close to the river bank, so that if the river happened to rise overnight, it might accidentally flow into the pit and drown the turkey accidentally, type of thing.
Uh-huh. Oh well. Yep.
But hey, wherever you want to put the pit, that's fine.
I'm going to open up more of the map visibility for you. Now that you've had time in here, you have a better understanding of where you came from and what's around.
Water.
So do we want to kind of put the pit like right here?
I'll just draw a box wherever you want it.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that'll be a good place.
Do we have can we find a nice sturdy branch that's about, I don't know, 15, 20 feet long?
I'll walk over here, and someone can bring the turkey.
Because what I'm kind of thinking is if we put a branch across the entire pit, we can try to hang the turkey basically in the middle of the pit.
Right. I'm on board.
All right.
Well, they're
Yeah, so
I'll go
about there.
find a
That's fine.
branch.
All right.
While they're
and-
digging I'll go find a branch for it.
Okay. Yeah, you find a good sturdy branch. Seems like it'll be good. And you're basically tying it to the branch on the tree hanging above the pit. And the pit does not have spikes on the bottom. Are you trying to make it fairly soft, like it would survive the fall, or not survive the fall?
Well, I'm not saying it necessarily needs to survive the fall or not. I mean, we can put some rocks in there or whatnot. I'm not gonna purposely put a spiked trap in there because that doesn't sound so cool. But
Then that's not
if it had a
accidental.
if it had a rocky bottom in there, that's not my problem. That's I'm not.
I mean, whatever the bottom is what it is once we dig
Yeah,
it.
it's rocky and kind of wet and marshy because you are, after all, near the river table.
Right. Okay, so let's see. Where's Brianna? I keep getting that. Benina. That's it.
Yep,
For some reason,
Banana.
I just have a hard time with that one.
No, I'll just call her Banana.
I've done worse. Okay. So, how does this turkey feel about us when it enters the 10-foot radius of the guardian that I set up there?
It does
beginning
not
of the
like
evening?
you at all.
So
It's
it's
afraid
hostile?
of you. It's hostile towards you, yes.
Okay. So then, let me give it its deck save,
Nice.
which is why I didn't move it. It's restrained too, so it gets disadvantage on it. So I'll give it to it again. So it gets whacked by the guardian.
Oh no. And it gets
What?
killed.
I forgot that was there.
I know.
Okay. So that's true. Nobody called it out specifically. You didn't break the concentration. We did say that you were still technically within combat. Now, however, you had said you had set up stuff. What's the duration on that spiritual guardian?
8 hours.
8 hours. Okay. So it's certainly within an 8-hour time period. And so it did what exactly to the great turkey?
It comes over and hits it with a sword.
So it hits the bag, and
Yep.
you hear a squawk, and you
Yep.
do indeed have a dead great turkey on your hands.
And I guess since I brought the turkey over, I kind of say, what happened?
Well, I set up that guardian for our camp when we bedded down when it got dark,
I forgot about that.
and so
Oops.
whoever actually brought the turkey over didn't remember, and well, they legitimately ex-turkeyed.
That was a legitimate accident. Yes, it was.
Yeah, I would say that counts. That'll count. I mean, you can honestly say Probably. You can honestly say that. I mean, you knew that was one of its effects, but you weren't paying attention to where it was located. So I think you could probably get past the zone of truth on that one.
Yeah.
That is, after all, what you're going to have to do, and you could probably get. Yeah, that should work. All right.
I mean, that's it's not even something that's specifically memorized or anything. It's something that's always granted to me by my deity.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, that's great. So, you now have a dead giant turkey on your hands, and what are you going to do?
Well, I think the
Well,
next trick is actually making it through the night and getting it to where it needs to go.
All right. You are,
true.
at that
I
point,
would,
going to keep or not keep that spiritual guardian.
We'll keep it if we can.
Well, if you're going to take
Yeah,
a long
I-
rest, you'll break
run
concentration,
duration.
right?
but it's not a
It'll end
concentration.
in our-
It's just an 8-hour duration, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, it's not concentration. It's just duration.
Oh. Oh, okay. Okay.
It just
yeah, so it just
hangs out there.
All right. It's just hanging out there. All right. Well, that sounds good. So you're going to try to take a
Well-
long rest. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll have to do it in shifts, which is fine. But I'm thinking, well, the turkey is dead now. We should probably just go ahead and dress it.
I
Or
would
do we
recommend
wanna- or
against
do we
that.
wanna-
I'm going to say, now you can do that if you want to, if you think you've got the skill to pull it off, but you know that since this is a bird for the queen's sister, presumably very highly skilled chefs will be taking a look at it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think they have cooks
okay.
for.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
It's like
Okay.
midnight away, right?
Yeah, it's close to midnight, correct.
Let's get a few hours sleep and then head back once it starts getting light. Because we're like half a day away from town.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what she got. She happened to have.
I can take middle watch.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take the first watch. That's fine.
All right. Unfortunately, the thing about a giant turkey in the middle of the harvest festival, which really signals the oncoming of winter and the end of the harvest because it had just been harvested, and therefore everyone's stocking up and celebrating the oncoming winter and the successful storehouse of food, is that outside it gets pretty cold. And when it gets pretty cold, animals in the woods start foraging for meat. And a bloody bag near a river is certainly bringing out the scent. And so you no sooner get within maybe an hour into your overnight stay when you hear some growling and no more than 3 winter wolves appear from the woods.
Well,
Ooh.
they might get a frozen turkey.
We might get some pelts out of this too.
And remember, that's 2 to 3 days of thawing. And this is a big turkey, so it might take longer.
Yeah, but
He is still down in the
a while
middle
to.
pit, so
That's if it's frozen all the way through, and it takes time to freeze all the way through as well. So let's not get too caught up on the semantics there. Unless, of course, the wolves freeze it solid. That's a possibility, I guess.
Fine, I won't give my my frozen turkey tips for Thanksgiving and Christmas for those who eat turkey.
Nice. All right. How do I identify them? It says item on. Oh, here we go. Okay. Now they've been identified. Cool. All right. So, have you rolled for initiative? No. Roll for initiative.
We have not. All right. Benina and myself.
All right.
All
So,
right, clerics going like clerics do.
why did it start at the bottom? Oh, because I added it to the top.
I
Oh,
don't
shoot. Sorry, now it's going to re-roll initiative. So Winter Wolf 2 actually goes first. Now, you I'm not going to break meta too much here, but I just, for the purposes of storytelling, remember, you all three have story cards you can play. And also, you know that wolves have things called pack tactics. That means that they are very deadly when grouped together like this.
Yep.
All right. Winter Wolf 2 is going to run up here, grab the bag. I will make that a dex check. It works to grab the bag, but is not yet able to because it is suspended over a pit. Despite its large size, it tries to grab it. That gets the bag kind of swinging. Good thing you put it on a rope. And it's having some trouble. Sardessa, your turn.
And then it trips and it falls headfirst down the pit. So, like, its butt is sticking up out and its face is head down in the pit. And there's like a turkey sort of dangling just above its butt with its legs kicking.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what happens. So you've got
Also,
a completely alive Winter Wolf minus a couple of points of damage.
it also passed by the Guardian. So.
Oh, okay. And failed its save.
So that was my card.
Yeah, I got that.
I'm
And
shrieking.
Ah.
oh, sorry. Let
that
me
went onto the
briefly move
turkey.
the turkey out.
The turkey's
There we
just
go.
not having a good day.
The turkey is an imaginary object at this point. But I can't not have this token on the map. Not today.
Well, obviously, it's important.
All right, so it actually took 20 points of damage from that thing, and that was pretty severe.
And then it fell into a hole.
I have Sardessa. It's your turn still, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I run shrieking up to Winterwolf number 1. So, by the way, the wolf down the hole is based on my dog when she was a little pooch, little tiny one. We were digging a fence, and there was a fence post hole, and she was running along and went face first in, and her butt was sticking out. So it's based on a little Jack Russell Terrier.
Nice. I had a cat
Sticking
get
up
stuck
out of
in a
the hole.
pickle jar once.
Boom.
It wasn't
right.
stuck severely. You could just pull it out. I just didn't know how. Very wounded. You did 13 points of damage with your battle axe, and then followed up with a missing attack with the battle axe.
And my third attack hits.
Third attack hits with a modified 27 for 12 points of heavy damage. The Great Turkey is dead. Carl, your turn.
All right. So I am going to cast Scorching Ray at the wolves. I gotta move my map. There we go. There's one.
That's a miss.
I get three
And a miss.
rolls, or 3 rays.
And a hit with a 22. For 9 points of damage to Winterwolf 1.
Okay, and can I actually reach the wolf that's in the pit? With a
Yeah,
weapon?
you can. You can. Yeah, its butt is basically sticking out, as stated.
Okay, and as a bonus action, I'm going to try to whack it with my warhammer.
We'll move the turkey out of the
with my
way.
warhammer.
There we go. That should be easier. All right, with a 20. For 12 points of damage to Winterwolf 2.
You're a faint. Yep.
And that will be my turn.
Benina's turn.
Okay. She's going to move up to here in case it's necessary. And then Guiding Bolt on one of them.
All right.
Shits.
That's a hit.
Mere damage. There we go.
Wow, 15 points of damage there.
Nice.
And the next attack against it is granted advantage.
All right.
And then Unami is going to move to here, so in case it gets charged.
It's Tsunami's turn, by the way, for those listening.
And then he will do the same thing at this moment towards the one that Sawtooth is fighting.
All right. Yeah, that was a 23, modified, and is a hit on Winter Wolf 1, which is now dying after being struck by that guiding bolt.
Boom.
Well, that went better than I expected. Mark that off.
All right, Winter Wolf 3, however, still sees the turkey there and is like, I want that turkey. So is going to run up, try to grab the turkey, and since it is near Winter Wolf 2, it is going to get advantage on its check.
It also gets hit by the last effect of that Guardian.
Yep. And it rolled a natural 20 after dropping a lower number, and so grabs the bag. And so it's 5, 10, 15,
Did it?
20.
Hang on. It's going through the Guardian area first, right? Before it actually
Correct.
gets close to its compatriot.
Yep.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
because it'll be coming in from like this side here, probably when it gets struck. So let's take care of that. It is succeeded its save.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then it succeeded this other one, so cool. That's fine.
All right, so
In that
it has
case,
the
The
bag.
Guardian's still around.
It has grabbed the bag as an action, and it moved, so it only has a bonus action, which I don't think is enough to really do anything here, so that's its move. So we are at the end of the turn. Carl, your turn. Start of the next round.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go around the pit. So 5, 10, 15, 20. That'll work there. And then I will smack the guy out the bag with my Warhammer.
Nice.
Yeah, natural 20.
Let's see, this should work. And it did. Cool.
15 points of damage.
And I get an
3.
Yeah, so normally critical gets double dice, but because I am a half orc, one of my traits is I actually add one more die to my critical hit, which is why I rolled 3 as opposed to 2.
Because you're brutal.
That's correct. And that was just number 1, right? So I get to try it again.
That is a hit. For 8 points of damage.
Additional damage.
It is definitely wounded. Both wolves that are left are very, very wounded.
And that will be my turn, because I don't think I've got bonus action.
Oops, sorry. Benina's turn.
If you could go into their inventory and identify the 2 wands, so I can get the DC on the one of them. If you open them up, there you go. Yep. So let's see, what is it? Hold monster. TC17, and it's got to be a wisdom save. So if you could just roll a wisdom save for that for Winterwolf 3.
I like.
Yep. So you go ahead and do it because I haven't got it set up. And then we'll see. Okay. Well then, yeah, it's a 17. It's fixed on wands, so. All right. What else she got? She's got a bonus. So she can put a special weapon on the other side of it with her bonus action, and the bracket. Yep. Well, bonus
Well,
action.
she used a wand, right?
Right. Yeah, that was her standard action, and then her bonus
Right.
action is the.
No, I don't think any cantrips are bonus actions, but my point was that she didn't cast a spell; she used a wand.
Right. Yep. And it's on the. It's just hovering over there. We'll deal with it as necessary. Or better yet, it can be in the same square as the guardian. Okay.
Okay. I would think athletics would be fine.
Sure. Oh, that was a 17 for such a while. There you go.
Kill the wolf.
I'm gonna run up and hit it on the ass.
Okay. Well, let's retrieve it and let's wash the sack in the river, and we can put the turkey back in it and wrap it back up with a rope. But let's kind of try to wash the blood off of stuff.
And then,
Yeah.
like any good adventurers, we will get us some Winterwolf's pelts to take back to sell, in addition to.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll take it to whomever we normally would take it to for getting it dressed and cooked and whatever else. And pass through whatever zones of truth we might need to. That's a wisdom save. Charisma.
Well, we took him alive and we had him in this sack, but then some unfortunate events occurred.
Gosh, I was going to say, well, actually, I caught it floating down the river trying to dive into the water. It didn't work. It wasn't working so well.
Well,
who was carrying it at the time? I
I-
don't
I was-
remember. I know it wasn't
I
me.
was no, I was carrying it at the time, and I tell the truth. You know, we got it captured. We had it in a bag. It was still alive. We were just going to suspend it over a pit for the night, and then try to then just get through the night and see if anything would have happened. But as I put it over the pit, it just suddenly was attacked and died, and I'm not exactly sure what happened. Honestly, I'm not exactly sure. I don't really know what killed it. I'm a fighter. After the turkey was killed, that's true. And I don't even right, but was it cast? Well, regardless, I don't think that they didn't. Well, anyways, it doesn't matter. But I'll even say that. Well, no, I think somebody had cast some sort of protection spell, and I'd forgotten, and apparently we entered the zone, and poof, turkey was killed.
Sorry about the wolf's blood.
Sure. Okay.
Apparently,
Oh shoot!
that-
Apparently
this
I was
another-
unfortunately I was muted there. Sorry about that. Yes, you go around it. Let me restate that for the Twitch chat. Sorry about that. You are ushered into a side room after succeeding the first zone of truth telling, and go into a room with a long table. Surrounding the table, on one half of it, are about half dozen or so ladies who are members of the Queen's Truth Tellers, the Queen Sisters Truth Tellers. They're these kind of wizened crones, and they all speak with one voice together, saying, "Welcome, have a seat. We know the truth. We see the truth. We know a lie. Tell us, how did the Great Turkey die?"
So is this a separate zone of truth that's thrown
It
down, or
is
is there
correct.
no zone?
If
or
you
what's going on?
if you're going to try, yeah, there is a zone of truth going on. So I guess it wouldn't hurt to do a charisma save.
Not and definitely not.
Okay, so both Benina and Carl and actually Unami, everyone except for Sardessa failed their check, so cannot tell a lie. Um, Sardessa, you really have the option.
No, we were trying to save this turkey. It had fallen in the water. I didn't see how. And then I don't know. It started diving
Well,
under the water, and
it
we.
jumped in the water on its own
It,
volition. That is
oh, you
true.
saw it? It jumped in the
Yeah.
water, and we were trying to grab it out, and we grabbed it out, and so we had put him in a sack, to bring it back because they have claws and everything. And we walked back to where our camp was, and it just died. Apparently, there had been some sort of guardian spell put up to protect us because it was a dangerous area, and it just killed the turkey. But then it got gnawed by wolves.
Well, it didn't quite get gnawed by wolves. It narrowly missed getting gnawed by wolves.
You
Thanks
probably
to
should
some
not have spoken, Unami,
brilliant
because
action.
you spoke out loud, at which point the crones turn to you and say, "Did you
Okay.
want it to die?"
I didn't.
No, but
I wanted us
they're
to be
asking
successful.
Unami, who failed his Zone of Truth
Right.
save.
And said, we wanted to be successful, but we did not intentionally kill it.
Okay. They nod appreciatively. Next question. Did this bird lead a happy life?
I think so. Look how fat he was.
It
That's
was
a good
pretty
life
fat.
there.
I think we can honestly say, all of us, without question, we don't know. We just met the bird.
I'm saying he looks fat and happy to me. Well,
Well,
he
sure.
did look fat and happy.
Well, I mean,
Not anymore.
Okay, they kind of are a little suspicious about that, but they're like, okay, that'll pass. And then finally, for the last question, did it have a peaceful death?
It was pretty quick, so if that's the earmark of a peaceful death, I'd say so.
You pass. Thank you very much. There is one other person who wishes to speak with you. And they stand up and leave out through a door. The door is left open. And after they shuffle out, you see, in a plush chair, wide-eyed, the Queen's sister themselves. The Queen's sister ushers you in.
okay. We'll enter with reverence, or at least I will.
Sure, absolutely.
All right. She...
Again, another Zone of Truth, or what?
yes. I mean, you could... Well, I mean, you could tell there's... I mean, would you even want to lie?
No.
No, but that's really not the point.
Well, yes, there is definitely a zone of truth. Remember the 3 zones of truth. However, she is also the Queen's sister. Had done some assistance, direct, perhaps maybe save the life of the Queen herself, although the Queen is immortal, so no one really knows what it was. But this person did something special for the Queen and formed a lifelong, for the sister anyway, friendship. Well regarded by the common people, except for well known for their quirky beliefs and behaviors. For example, the Queen's sister asks you to kneel down in front of her. Now look me in the eyes, each and every one of you. I will be asking you this question. If you caused harm to this animal, not only will it displease me, but it will mean your death. All right, make a charisma save.
Okay.
I see a 1, Unami. And I see a 20, Sardessa. You've been doing good here. You really have the option to pass the Zone of Truth here. You too, Carl. And, actually, why did you re-roll, Unami?
Because there's two of me. One's Biana and the other one's Unami.
Okay, so Biano's the one who can't lie.
Yeah.
Or Benino.
Yes.
All right.
See, I keep doing it.
Yeah, me too. So let's actually start with Sardessa. She looks you in the eye and says, "Tell me of its final moments." And you see a tear start to well up in her eye.
Well, we had him safely nestled in a bag, and so that he wouldn't be too scared. And actually, Unami had put a calming spell out, so he was feeling very peaceful. And this guardian spell that came up, it was very quick, and so he felt no pain. He was just snuggled and warm in his little safe bag, and that was it.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that. She then turns to you, Carl, and says, "Tell me of its final moments." Let me say this. You know enough not to repeat what was said before. She wants to hear the full story here.
Right. It's final moments. Well, we had it more or less peacefully in the bag. And so as far as I know, it died, it wasn't tortured or anything like that.
Did you try to protect it?
Well, didn't know anything was going to really harm it at its point of demise. It just kind of suddenly was dead. So it was very quick, and I would guess relatively painless.
Oh, that just sounds delicious. Unami, what did you see in its final moments? Did it feel pain? Was it sad? Was it accepting of its fate?
Well, when I pulled it from the river in which it was gasping and flapping about, and held it so that we could bag it up and keep it calm, it brought, and of course it died suddenly, and then we protected its body from the wolves that came for it, which would have in fact probably found it in all likeliness had we not already taken it. So it was also safe from a more grisly fate than just...
Oh, so even nature had its final moment. Well, that's just wonderful. Finally, Benina, I must ask you, if it hadn't died like this, what would you have done? I'm going to give the group the chance to maybe answer this one.
Okay.
I think Benina says, I would have taken him home and
turn him into a pet.
He was very cute.
If
But
it
he
had
lived a
survived,
long life, and he had many little turkey children, I'm sure. And so maybe one day one of those will be my pet.
And you just see tears streaking down her cheek. She's like, "Oh, that's so wonderful. That is so wonderful. You clearly understand where I'm coming from. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Thank you so much." And she leaves the room, at which point you're escorted back into the kitchen to a bunch of very, very relieved kitchen staff who are give you pats on the back and clap for you and are just thrilled at how you've been able to make dinner here tonight. So thank you, everybody, for being a part of the session here tonight.
Man, that's not the kind of turkey hunt I want to go on every year, says Unami.
So now back to the tavern. Remember, you wrapped up your story you started your story rather in the tavern. And let me see if I can bring up that map here. All right. In the tavern, the group just sits there in, frankly, in awe and somewhat disbelief. And someone said, "So basically, what you're saying," some drunken dwarf from the back room says, "if you hadn't been such a dumbass and didn't know what your own spell did, you wouldn't be here today?"
Exactly, good sir. Isn't it wonderful?
Wasn't my spell.
Oh, this was directed toward, I think that was Unami, right? You're the one who cast it? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like, oh, I knew what my spell did. I just relied on other people to forget about it.
Nice. All right. Well, that's going to do it here with the session here tonight, our special holiday one-off on D&D night on DDOstream. Wrapping up a few minutes early, but that's just fine. Let me take a look at our schedule here while I give people an opportunity to plug whatever it is they also have going on. We'll start here with you, Comic Relief.
Well, about the only thing I really have coming up anytime soon would be something that Groovy's doing, so I will let him take care of that. I do think, let's see, Kobold Kindergarten, which was running every second and fourth Wednesday of the month, I believe is going to wrap up its current incarnation on the 9th of December. At least that is the current plan. So head on over to Kobold Even on Twitch and join us for that adventure there.
Awesome. Our schedule here, by the way, next Sunday, good timing on this one there, Groovy, is going to be actually your campaign, December 6th, Rime of the Frost Maiden, correct?
Yep. Right in time for it to get super cold where we are.
True.
Yep, I'll be doing Rime of the Frost Maiden. And it's cold there. And everybody's going to get a chance to do any kind of alterations they want to do with Tasha's beforehand, since that also came out. And we'll have that incorporated, and I hope people come and watch. I think it'll be fun while we watch characters try not to freeze to death.
Yep.
There's no avoiding the cold.
Also, just a quick programming note, you normally do a lot of streaming of DDO on Sunday afternoons, but just due to the holiday schedule and just needs of family and everything, we're taking a break on that, so you have your Sunday afternoons open here through December, and you'll be back here probably in the new year, most likely.
Yeah, we're kind of on a little holiday hiatus, and but with the new year, we'll be starting the...
You gotta make DM screens.
Yep. Got stuff to do. Perfectly understandable. I think in general, the DDOstream schedule tends to get a little more flaky in December because, hey, we're all volunteers here. Nobody's doing this for a living or anything. So, but we do have D&D night happening every Sunday here so far. I'll be back on December 20th. That'll be a pre-recorded show. It's going to be another holiday special one-off. This time taking a look at the other holiday that happens this time of the year. So thanks very much for watching, everybody. Thank you very much for Fantasy Grounds for helping us out with some keys. You can find out more at fantasygrounds.com. Get a free account even. And we will be back next Sunday with more D&D night on DDOstream. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Good night.